So we have Kevin Mendoza here, one of my really good friends and now coworker. So this is him, this beautiful guy right here. So why don't you just tell everyone about yourself?
About myself. Oh God, what do you want to know? So yeah, I
Everything.
am. I'll give you this much. I work with Brian now at the hospital, and where I came from was not a hospital setting. So to, I guess, address the clickbait title of the video, 0 to 6 figures with no experience. It's pretty much true because I guess I'll just say that now I work in the electrophysiology lab, but before that I was a photographer, and before that I was trained. So yeah. And the zero part is also accurate because I was unemployed due to the lockdown and the pen, and
Oh
then
yeah, I totally
this
forgot
opportunity
about
came
that.
up. Yeah. So I was literally zero before I got the job. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I remember you were making glasses too for like what, Warby Parker at the same time?
Yeah, so like right before I got the job, or actually no, right before I got the call to like, have an interview for the job, I was working for Warby Parker assembling glass, literally putting lenses in frames. And I lasted one shift. I
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
No, dude, I lasted one shift. I went in for that night shift, and then I was like, I'm not doing this ever. So I emailed them like no, I called them the next day. Then like the very next morning, I was like, yeah, I'm not coming into work. And then he was like, oh, what's going on? And I was like, just don't want to do this, like, for however long I would have to do it for. And then luckily that same day, our manager now, she called me saying that like, hey, let's set up a call. And I would think
That is
just
dope.
in
Like
time.
things work out in all
Dude,
the right ways.
literally right on time. Yeah, for real.
So before that, you said you're a personal trainer. Obviously, if anyone
Yeah.
follows Kevin, you guys should know that he's super into fitness. We both used to work out a lot together. So you did that for a long time, for forever, pretty much. You did.
Yeah, personal training, pretty much. Well, yeah, so like the fitness industry I was in for like right out of college. I was
Mhm,
into first like sports nutrition. So
mhm,
like I worked at those supplement stores like promoting or like selling like protein powders, pre-workouts and stuff. Then I got
mhm.
a job at a gym, like just front desk stuff. Then I became a personal trainer. And then at one point I actually like left New York to like, try to start my own thing. I started my own personal training studio down in Atlanta, and did that for about a year and a half, but I missed New York too much that I came back.
Yeah, you have a lot of friends up here too. Do you mind going into like, I guess, like how much you were making as like a personal trainer? Because like the industry is super hard to like everyone. I feel like everyone on like social media thinks it's super easy to make a lot of money in like the fitness industry, but I have a feeling it's like really not that enticing to do unless you have like a insane following or something like that.
Yeah, so I was probably averaging maybe 40K and or like just in the fitness industry at all. So like that includes the supplement stores and personal training. So like no matter what I was doing in the fitness industry, it was around.
Dang. And you have a college degree as well, just it's not in like physical therapy or exercise science.
Right, yeah. I have a college degree in psychology. So yeah, not related at all to anything I've done.
And then yeah, so now you're in the EP lab, which is pretty amazing because you also, I remember when we talked, I was in like the car and then I was like, there's like the surgical tech kind of like EP tech kind of position opening up. Are you interested? And you're like, I have no idea what the hell that is. What do I do?
Yeah,
And I was like,
man. Like I really didn't know why you were considering me for it, because like my work history. So I was like, I had no idea what you're thinking.
I'm just looking out. Like you said, you needed a job, and then I think you said you were about to go into try to go into school for either like nursing or like X-ray tech or something. So I was like,
Yeah.
so I was thinking like I remember like some of our coworkers telling me is like when I asked them like, what did you have to do to get here? And most of them said nothing, apply. And then I was like, oh shoot, I could probably get Kevin here. And then
Yeah.
like you said, like perfect timing to ask a question to like, what do you think about like jobs and stuff? And then worked out really well.
Really.
And I think that was like the hardest part was selling yourself to get the job. So like how did the
Yeah.
interview go? Well, it was like probably Zoom too,
The
right?
yeah, the interview was Zoom. Well, because there was plenty of preparation and like very specific preparation for it. The interview itself went amazing. That was probably the smoothest interview I've had for any job or like anything, like college interviews, like anything. If someone was asking me a question and I had to give an answer. That interview for that job was the smoothest piece of work that I've done.
And then how long did it take you to actually get the offer letter? And then how long did it take you to actually start working?
A while. I think it was about, the offer letter was maybe, so let's see. Let's backtrack. Let's tell the story.
Yeah, let's tell the
You
story.
came you came to me with the job opportunity in like February.
Yeah, I remember it was cold.
Probably, yeah. And then probably around April was when like the interview was booked. And then
Oh, dang, it took that long.
yeah. And then the letter, like the actual offer, maybe a month after that. Yeah. And then I started in June. Yep. Yeah.
And I remember,
something
like,
with that timeline.
a lot of like, and I remember like our lead tech and the management were telling, because I kept asking, I was like, oh, so what's up with Kev's application? You guys gonna push him through? Can we get him in here? And then they kept giving like pushback saying like the dude literally handed in a blank piece of paper for a resume. And then it's like,
no, dude, a blank piece of paper would have been better than what I submitted.
so that was the thing that was crazy, because there was like people that were like EMTs or paramedics or someone like internal in the hospital that were like nurses aides or something like that were applying for this job. And then I really think just you interviewed really well, and hopefully I had some influence on putting that like little word in their ear that like you'll be really good for the job. Hopefully that really helped. But like you're flourishing now, which is really great. Like, and then like, so how long was your orientation?
3 months.
Was it hard
And
getting used to?
Absolutely. Not only was it like, work that I have zero experience in, but like just getting used to the work hours, commuting to the city, it was really, really overwhelming, just because, well, it was like the first time I had a real job with like benefits and like, decent pay and like a manager that could actually fire me for like fucking up, because it's like it's a hospital setting. So like if you mess up, like, someone's life is, in danger or whatever. So like a lot was writing on my performance and like how well I could pick everything up and learn everything in time to like, be on my own after the orientation. So I remember breaking down a couple of times emotionally, like on the way home.
Really?
Just because, yeah, dude, because like I wasn't used to the commute, because I've worked around, where we lived at the time. For majority of the time that I was working. Even when I was in Atlanta, the commute wasn't that but like having to wake up that early to go into the city and then like just do something that I wasn't I was working in something that I was completely unfamiliar with. So like I was really questioning my ability of like, can I work in a hospital when I have zero experience to like, back. And then just a few times coming home from work, I was just like, bro, like I just do not know.
Well, like what was like
hey, it worked out.
What was like the thing that kept you, I guess, trying to like really like see this out kind of thing? Or like what made you not want to like quit? Because it was like,
well, primarily finances, obviously. Being unemployed before and then having this amazing opportunity to like, pretty much be set for life if that be the case. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that like I cannot mess up. So it was like that kept me going. And then like not wanting to make you look bad in front of your coworkers and your manager. So I was like, okay, Bri put in a good word for me. He's a good friend of mine. I'm not gonna let him down.
I appreciate that. And then luckily, like you get along really well with like all of our coworkers right now.
Of
like
course,
90%.
bro. I mean,
like,
it's me,
90%. So of course, the question that everyone wants to know: at the end of the year, full year, how much did you make? You could do gross.
Yeah, the gross is closer to 6 figures. So I say the title is clickbait because I didn't 6 figures. I'm just shy of that. If there were 13 months in a year, I would hit 6, but 95K was my official annual gross for 2022.
And that's because like a lot of OT. I know you did a lot of doubles and stuff.
Yeah, I did. A lot of overtime. I would not have hit close to 6 figures without.
How grueling is like the overtime shifts? Because I know it's like 16 hours and sometimes like you guys really don't get breaks and stuff. So how, like, I guess just like walk us through like how tiring that could be too, because you're making good money, but it's also you're putting a lot of time into it.
Time and energy. So in the beginning, when I was like just off orientation and they threw me into double shifts right away, it was pretty exhausting because I was still adjusting to the type of work that I was doing and the schedule. So yeah, it was exhausting psychologically, emotionally, and physically, just because. So I would work a double shift, right? 16, commute an hour home, about an hour. And then, so my shift would end at like 11, maybe sometimes later. And I'd get home
11
if I'm
p.m. for the
lucky.
people don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
If it's a double, he'd be
Yeah.
starting at 7 a.m.
Right. Maybe commute and get home by like midnight, but then I would have to get up at 4:30 just to like, get ready for work and then trip out again so like I'm working 16 hours that day, but then I'm getting maybe 4 hours of sleep and then I have to go back into work again for like another double.
Yeah,
Bro,
because like the hour
it's
and a half commute to time unpaid of just coming to
right.
work and leaving work just to go home and sleep and just to come back.
It was exhausting, dude. But like now, I guess that I'm adjusted to it. Well, now that I live closer to the city, that's a godsend. And yeah, my body is just used to waking up early, working those long hours, and then functioning on very. So even though my body's used to it, I know it's not good long term. But I'm able to, so it's not as drained. Still not healthy though, but not as drained.
Especially that you've gotten so much better at your position that it's probably not as mentally stressful or even physically stressful because you're probably
Right.
I know you guys prep for the next day ahead of time too, just in case. So
yeah. So like, there's a lot of preparation done beforehand. And like now I know like the tricks and little things that can help make my day more efficient. Like that helps out huge. So like I have like my own little workflow now, and yeah, it's like you said, like less mentally draining because I have to think less. I could just like execute.
Yeah, you just show up. Oh, you look at what the caseload is, and then you just set up.
Yeah,
So since you've pretty much, well, I'm assuming maybe next year you'll actually hit that full-time goal of like 100K if you really wanted to get it. But you've also done some pretty big things financially. You got yourself out of debt, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I have my credit cards. Well, I work all my credit cards down to zero. I have a total, I think, of 8 credit cards. All of them read zero at this moment. I got rid of my car debt like pretty much as soon as I got when I got the job. The very first thing I wanted to do with like all that new money was pay off my card.
And how much was that?
265. And I think my loan, my remaining loan between the time that I got hired and by the time I paid it. So I got excuse me, I got hired in June and my birthday is in September. I told myself like I would pay it off by September, paid off by that loan. The remaining loan on that was probably around 16 or 17,000.
Oh damn!
And I threw everything, like every penny that I got from that paycheck, I threw everything at that car. So I made the required monthly payment, and then
additional principal.
Anything else? Right? Yeah, I paid down the principal through, and like I just wanted to get rid of that car loan.
You said June, July, August. I'm like, dang, 3 months. You threw like 16, 17 grand right at it. Damn, that is
basically all my orientation money.
that takes a lot of like motivation and dedication to do that, because obviously, like you said, this is like your first, I guess, higher paying job. Most people would just be like spending money left and right. Like, oh damn, I got the big bucks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Man.
And then how much was the credit card debt?
Credit card was about five.
Okay, so not crazy, but still it
not crazy. Up. It's still, I mean, yeah, it's still a good amount. Like all that credit card debt was from like all this camera equipment that I had purchased for my photography gig that I was doing before the pandemic, or like trying to do.
How much were you making with all that together, like with just the photography, videography stuff? Because I know you're doing a lot of like freelance work, but I remember us talking before.
So the freelance work with the cameras was probably close to 20K for the and then I was working 2 gym jobs at the time too. So
I forgot you had 2 gym jobs too.
Yeah, 2 gym jobs. Yeah, 2 part-time gym jobs. So yeah, I was averaging around 40. Like everything combined.
So now that you got rid of all your debt, what's your biggest expense now? Just rent?
Yeah, just rent. Hopefully I could capitalize on paying rent by receiving points from that bill promo that you put out. Yeah, so I guess I'm applying for a new credit card.
If that works really well for you, that could also be like a game changer. Yeah. Like I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I'm not affiliated with Built at all. I just thought that was like a really cool thing that they're doing.
I looked into it.
You're allowed to pay rent with your credit card.
Yeah. And there's no annual fee, so nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing to lose. So, and this is almost hitting 6 figures without the certification that could technically put you over it, the RCES. So
Correct.
what do you have to do to get that?
One of our attendings has to sign off on a letter of recommendation, and then I send that to the certification company. They approve the letter of recommendation. I applied to take the test. Then if I study my ass off enough to the point where I'm knowledgeable in order to pass the test, they will give me a piece of paper certifying registered electrophysiology specialist. Then that can allow me to get paid much more than I'm being paid now at the current job. Or it opens up a lot of doors. Like I could go anywhere with that certification.
That's true, because I remember
including maybe traveling.
Yeah, travel jobs could give you insane money, because I know that I've always been talking about potentially doing travel nursing, but it's so hard to do that myself, just because the job we do with friends and stuff is just it's fun and it makes it easy.
It's too fun. Yeah.
And like I'm looking at one right now, EP lab technician, where we pretty much in the city, 3,222 a week.
A week, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up to my, let's see if I could even present share screen, share.
Oh,
right here.
Hey,
Right here, EP lab technician, 3,222 a week. Insane. Oh, whoa, 3,600 right there.
one day.
One day.
One day it'll happen.
So obviously this opens up a lot of doors, because I think the pay raise is like a nice, from what I'm hearing, it's like 20K added on
from
to your
the
salary.
base.
Yeah,
From the
so
base,
that's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Too.
And then you throw in all the OT that I would be doing also. I'm making almost nursing money without having to do all the education and licensing.
Yeah, it's true. That's a lot of money to, like what we talked about, like the clickbait title, from 0 to 6 figures with like no experience. Like obviously you got the experience to get the certification. Yeah. And then it just compounds from there. So obviously that would probably be goal one. What would be your financial goals from there? Like, is the plan to stay, or is it to travel, or because you'll be so marketable?
Oh, like after the certification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't work out, you try it again.
Yeah. So like, let's say I do get certified and I get the pay bump at the current job. I would probably ride it out for as long as you and my other friends are there for, because I love working with you guys. And like, I like the culture over there. It's fun. It's pretty much chill. And if you guys leave, I'm out too. So like that certification will allow me to like hop into like other hospital or even travel. I would try travel. I mean, I'm not committed to any family right now. I'm single, ladies.
There we go.
So like,
shameless plug.
Single, no family. I'm not committed to or like tied down to a house, so like I can move around. That certification could bring me anywhere in the States, or if I wanted to travel countries, I don't know, but like anywhere.
And then any side hustles you're going to try to get into to increase like the cash flow for you as well? Because I know that's like a big topic at our job, is like, since we do have some free time, that we always talk about, like, what kind of side hustles can we do to make more money and to get to like financial freedom?
Right. Yeah. Like you're doing real estate investing and social media. What do you do? Like you make social media videos and then they pay you for making video. Also, YouTube is a big thing for you too. So those are your side hustles. I do want to try getting back into photography if I could find enough clientele or even the time to like, trip out and like do shoots, come home and edit. Maybe, I don't know. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. So like if I could just like maintain this or even get a little bit leaner, who knows? Maybe. Yeah, like just get uber shredded. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll try out OnlyFans, because there's so much success on OnlyFans, dude. Like people they're becoming millionaires overnight, and it's ridiculous.
And like, it's like, why not? You're single, like you said, you're in the best shape of your life.
Try it, man.
Like, why not try it? Like, how would you do it? Would you show your face?
I would not show my face, dude. My family cannot find out.
So you'd have a mask on.
I feel like you and like a select few others would just know, like, that's Kevin.
just looking at certain body parts. Oh, that's Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a mask on. I don't know, maybe some cosplay, thirst trap. Who knows? I don't know. I don't even know if I'll do it.
You might do it. So just to go into like some finance stuff, because obviously this is like kind of like a finance channel. Do you have retirement?
Yeah, let's keep it there.
Yeah,
I have retirement accounts. There's the retirement account at my job, and also I have a Roth.
And do you max out the Roth IRA or try to?
I'm able to now, so yeah.
And the 403b, that's probably, I think you have a 403b. It's probably hard to max
Yes.
out the 20K a year. So, but how much do
At
you
my
contribute to that
at my current, I contribute
percentage wise, I
maybe
guess?
5%. I think maybe
Okay.
5% of my check. Well, because just now I gotta like feel out how much I could contribute to that, how much I could contribute Roth IRA because of my lifestyle now. Like I am paying rent on my own now. Like being single, I'm paying everything myself. So it's pretty
Mhm.
expensive. So I can't contribute so much to retirement as much as I would maybe want to. But like, all that's in the plan of like, getting certified, increasing my income, the OnlyFans, and like just getting more money long term and like just throwing money at the retirement.
Which I think is actually pretty good because since we don't have a retirement match, like I've been like debating it with myself for a while that I would do like a minimum percentage towards my 403b and just max out the Roth IRA because that's the tax-free wealth, and I would only
Right.
go back to the 403b as if like I needed like the tax write-off at the end of the year, and I just try to like fully max it out to
Right.
get like that to get that like 20,000 tax write-off. But I think the way you're doing it is pretty smart. Max out the Roth IRA 5% just so you know something is in there growing, and then from there
Yeah.
just feeling it out of what you need, because you could always just go back to
I could adjust
increasing
it.
your
Yeah, I could
percentage.
adjust it
Yeah.
later on if I had to. Exactly.
And do you have like a regular brokerage account or any other investments, stuff like that yet?
I don't have a regular brokerage account. I don't do enough research. Like I feel like I don't do enough research to like invest into single stocks or do like heavy plays like that. So I just stick with ETFs in the Roth IRA, tax free by the time I retire. And for me, it's like the most hands off way I could start investing.
And again, I think that is a super good thing to be doing because there's a lot of people that obviously like have extra income, right? But then they throw it into like a regular brokerage account and they just try to look on what's the hottest stock picks, and then they end up like just losing money because it's pretty much gambling if you don't do your research on individual
Exactly.
stocks or just like
And I know I'm
bullshitting
not.
around.
Yeah, yeah. I know I'm not going to do enough research to make a good decision. So, like, I might as well just buy all the stocks through an ETF.
Mhm.
Just
There was anyone in an unemployed position or anyone in like an unfortunate position, what would be your advice to them to getting on their feet?
this wasn't part of the homework. Talk to people. I mean, I say that because we talked, and
Mhm.
had we not talked that day, this opportunity, right? So just talk to anyone, everyone that you know. Someone knows some opportunity, and if they could be of any help, especially if they're your friend or an acquaintance, that if they see that you're a good person, they'll help.
That's some really good advice. And where can people find you? Like IG, TikTok, OnlyFans? What are your links? And I'll link them down below.
OnlyFans, still gotta make. So
You probably
Instagram
don't
is
want to put that out there because you're gonna have a mask on anyway.
yeah. It's like, oh, like he dropped his OnlyFans handle. It's like that's definitely him. I don't want anyone to find me there. Instagram, the Kevin Mendoza. If you want just super like obnoxious humor or like just watching me lift, you could find me there, the Kevin Mendoza on Instagram. TikTok, I also do obnoxious humor there too. That's gonna be Damn It Doza.
So again, man, I appreciate you for taking your time out of your day to do this with me.
Thanks for having me on, man. This was
Of
fun.
course, we'll probably do this again more often once we get through more guests, and we'll just be
I
hanging
am
out
hella
talking.
down. I'm
And we'll
down,
probably do
dude.
a live one like in the basement down here.
Yeah.
All right, perfect, man.
Awesome.
Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.
See you at work. Well,
Oh yeah.
whenever you
Well, if
decide
we
to come
come back
back.
to work.
Peace.
Peace.